Hello, everyone, and welcome to What Am I Eating? The first mukbang episode of What Are We Reading?
It's going to be really weird considering the fact that we don't have face cam, so you're just going to be listening to Zane eat.
It's just, oh, that's good. Sorry if I'm smacking so much, guys.
Worst case scenario, someone ends up thinking that you're kidnapped. Actually, no, worst case scenario, you are kidnapped. Second worst case, the internet thinks you are. It's a reference to an actual thing going on with one of those mukbang channels.
Somebody thinks they got kidnapped?
It's like kidnapped or abused or something like that because of the fact that, like it's the whole thing of one of her videos, she either has what is a busted lip or a cold sore.
Ooh.
And there is like a bruise on her arm, which she in the comments stated was because of a trip or something like that. It's a whole thing of people are kind of going nuts. And this isn't the first time that there's been a suspected kidnapping with a YouTuber. There was that what did she do? She was one of those people who I think one of the stereotypical emo channels. But the whole thing of people thinking that she was kidnapped when she wasn't. And so it's a whole thing of, okay, don't exactly know. And at the same time, if you are going to investigate, anyone investigating that one, for the love of God, do not leak her address. You'll just be doxing her.
Also, if everyone's bringing attention to it, then if she is kidnapped, she might not be able to, show up anymore.
Yeah.
The kidnapper might do something about it.
Kidnapper or abuser. Because both Rainbot and Nexpo have talked about it.
About the person being kidnapped?
Yeah, Rainbot's of the opinion that it's likely just a bunch of coincidence that happens to, look bad. From what she said, she's pretty sure that it was a cold sore, not a busted lip, and that. Whereas, Nexpo was it could be either one.
That's never fun.
Yeah. Besides the point.
I just want to make a joke about mukbang. Why are we talking about this now?
Because I peruse a lot of those internet horror channels.
Yeesh, buddy.
And so both of them talked about that thing, and it was yeah, that's kind of distressing. If it is the case.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go around...
Never mind, continue.
Our own investigation thing?
I was going to say a joke about we should make our own horror channel, not investigate.
Okay, I was going to say, because I have been doing investigations on a completely different person because of a thing I've been reading.
Ooh, let's not spoil ourselves now, though.
Yeah. I will... Okay, there's a picture I need to show you involving that. Because you do know how he, went to court and whatnot?
Oh, Onion Boy?
Yeah, there's a picture of him. Because Repsion showed it, and I think it was put up on Twitter, too.
I watched the video of it.
Yeah, and he's a full foot shorter than Repsion, and he just looks so terrible in that suit.
Also, apparently, he had the strut when he walked in, too.
Oh, fucking hell. The fact that he felt the need to wear a bulletproof vest to a court hearing.
I really hope that he's just overthinking it and there's not actually a bulletproof vest in court.
Well, he stated, because it's the whole... Looking at that one photo where it shows him from the back, that is a weird bulge under the fabric.
Yeah, he looks very bulky.
Yeah, which he's not exactly a bulky person.
Yeah. But
yeah, I'm seriously doubting his claims of being 5'11". It's either that or Repsion's a fucking giant.
Repsion's just a tall lad. He's the boy.
Repsion's like Bo Burnham, and it turns out he's actually 6'6".
Just imagine being Onision, just I'm going to court with a man I've never really seen before in real life. Oh god, he's huge. I mean, I know I brought a bulletproof vest, but goddamn.
I swear, every
vest help with fist.
Every picture of James Jackson from that fucking day is another level of cringe. Have you seen the one of him like in the fucking elevator with the suit, the shades, and the beanie?
I've been very good about not trying to bring attention to it, so I don't think about it. But like, yeah. So I don't know where people are getting all these pictures of Onision. Apparently, it was like an open thing, right? So everyone actually
Yeah.
went there.
Yeah.
Someone made an edit.
Oh god.
Look.
Oh. Considering how much the man likes to compare himself to the Joker, that is a really fitting picture. Also, iNabber pointed out the specific brand name of those Adidas. They're from the Predator line. And I don't think he was doing that as a joke. If he was, it was a really...
Holy shit! Sorry, I'm actually getting a good look at that picture of, him in the courtroom. Nah,
Yeah.
That's an unnatural thing in his back. Like, what the fuck is he wearing under there?
Yeah, it's a vest. Like, that has to be a bulletproof vest.
Why does he think... Who's gonna bring a gun to a court?
Onision?
Apparently not. He's prepared for it, though.
Well, he said the same thing about wanting to bring one to a YouTuber convention that he ended up being told he wasn't allowed to go to.
Well, that's just stupid.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Imagine being taken to court and then dismissed and
Well, he just... Yeah, I mean... Oh, yeah, you're talking about Repsy. Yeah, that was fucking stupid. It was like, yeah. Well, you see, we're gonna bring more evidence. I'm sorry. How are you this smug when you're delaying a court case? How are you this smug in telling the court that you don't have enough evidence to prosecute right now? As you are representing yourself.
Because and then it's just like, I want to extend the time so that I could defend myself more, because I have the receipts, boy.
Yeah. Because he didn't hire an attorney. He's self-representing. Anyway, not the point. We're doing some more RPG horror stories by the Jiggle King.
Can I say one more thing?
What?
He didn't have enough for a defense attorney or whatever because he spent all his money on that vest. Anyways, yeah, let's start.
You ran out of Patreon money. Anyway. Oh, God. And now I'm just thinking about the thing that happened last month. Anyway, we're starting with the story Ricky. The link to this man's profile will be in the description. The Jiggle Kings. Not James Jackson's.
Not Ricky.
Or Ricky.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. Back again with some more horror stories from my decade plus of playing.
He's old. Oh, sorry. Oh.
Fucking hell.
Sorry, Onision made me sick. Today's story is about Ricky, the bard/barbarian of my previous story.
The barbarian. He's built and he's got a loot.
Oh no. The perfect combo.
I need to link you the latest Unearthed Arcana because they have a barbarian that is a barbarian subclass that is basically mixed with druid.
I'm sorry, does a barbarian transform or something?
You can have it to where he sprouts a tail or sharp teeth or claws.
What the fuck?
I'm not kidding.
I can become a furry barbarian?
My furbarian.
Witness the power of my furbarian!
God damn it. I mean, there was already the joke with the astral self monks about fursuits.
Oh, right.
Yeah. In that one, we saw Ricky as a player. This one is from about 2 years earlier where he decided to be the DM. Yeah, that's never a good idea. I mean, I DM and just look at how terrible that's been going.
You like to kill things. That's the one problem I have.
Need to stop making that joke. I mean, I haven't killed anybody yet.
You got damn close, though. Now, I know a lot of people are going to ask, why play with this guy? Well, a lot of IRL things changed for Ricky, and I kept giving him chances like an idiot.
Anyway.
All right. Our cast: Ricky the GM, Giovanni the Ranger, dating Van, Ruby, our rogue, girlfriend at the time, Van, our sorcerer / that guy for this story, dating Giovanni, me, our fighter.
Ah, God, he's gonna beat me up with his Pokemon. The campaign starts with us meeting at Giovanni and Van's place for a dinner / D&D evening. D&D evening.
Team. Shut up. One by one, we were taken aside by Ricky and asked to make our characters with him, and we would have no idea about each other's backstory.
That's not a bad idea.
No, just a bunch of complete strangers.
That's kind of like what would make the most sense with the Planeswalker one, but we already have it to where like you and Tom know each other's, or Tom knows your backstory at least.
Pretty much. I don't even have a full backstory for my character, I thought, right?
Yeah, I guess no, the concepts anyway.
Yeah, the concepts, yeah.
Still waiting on Kyle to say anything.
He's not going to go out of his way to do it, that's the thing.
Yeah, as well as Jess to like figure out which one she's going with.
Yeah.
Cool concept. So I roll some dice and give him my concept, and he gives me a backstory.
What?
That's a bit weirder. That's a bit more concerning. A legendary general who fought and led many wars at level 1.
Yeah. Yep.
As such, he was well into his 50s. As such, he was very militaristic and about respect and teamwork. We were level 1 characters. But since he had created the world and had a story in mind, I went with it.
So the game starts with us all awakening in cages or chained to walls in what appears to be a dungeon. We have no equipment at all. This already sounds like that other story.
This will go great.
Mm-hmm.
This is something you typically works better if you do it partway through a campaign.
You don't want to start in the jail cell?
You don't want to start in the jail cell, but you could have an arc that has them get stuck in a jail cell. A good example of this would be like the Oxventure series, in which basically at one point the group ends up going to a town and gets drugged by a bartender and wakes up in a jail cell that has an anti-magic property to it.
Ah.
Yeah. Also, one of the characters ends up losing his kidney.
Oh.
He's the only one without magic, and he wakes up with the weird incision on his side in a tub full of ice.
That's concerning.
Yeah.
They stole his kidney. What the fuck? Why?
Because he doesn't have magic, and he was a dragonborn, so his organs were useful.
Oh. That's kind of dark.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Oxventure gets weirdly dark at times, but luckily everyone is so carefree that it typically doesn't hit.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see.
Because, like, later he ends up grabbing a hold of a guard, manages to, like, I think he got, like, a nat 20 on the grapple to do it.
Ah.
So he ended up, like, somehow pulling him through the bars, and starts shaking and yelling at him.
There's just a guard in the prison cell with him now?
Yeah.
Does he push him back out?
No. Basically, he ends up tying his hands and then leaves the key to, like, the doors in it. And so every time they need to open a door, they just pick up the guard, put his back up against the keyhole, and turn him.
What the fuck? Why?
I think part of it was to mess with the DM, because the guard was very obviously supposed to be a one-off character that never appeared after that scene. They're like, why don't you come with us? You must have a name that's very important.
Oh, just the DM in the background, you motherfuckers.
Basically. He was just like, oh, he's gonna put his head in his hands for a second. Like, oh,
why
no.
am I here? Why did I do this? But so, pretty much don't start in a prison, though?
Yeah, don't start in a prison. That typically doesn't tend to go well, because not only are they level 1 characters, but you've taken away anything that gives them a chance of survival.
How about they just broke out of prison?
That could work. Or you could have it to where you have, because there are a couple ways to do this to where you could have it to where they start in the prison and it works. One of the things is you have it to where you have a scene beforehand or you end up having this be explained beforehand that the group, say, I don't know, got into a bar fight that got them arrested by the town guard, and that's how they meet each other. And so the prison thing is less of a jailbreak and more of an introductory thing in order for the characters to get to know each other. And then, like, say their bail gets paid or whatever, and they're let out, and their stuff is given back.
All right, yeah.
Basically, don't do a thing where you immediately take all power away from the party.
Okay, because if I'm doing that island one, and it's going to be one PC, I know for a fact people are going to want to get into trouble so that they can have really high bounties. So I know for a fact some of these people are going to be fucking, people deserving of prison.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just, thinking, and maybe they got out of, like, doing something dumb and small, or they just escaped prison,
Yeah.
and now they have to leave the island as quickly as possible before the guards try to slap them again.
Yeah.
Yeah, also, I'm pretty sure it's my line, right?
No, it's my line.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. We see a single figure approaching us from across a single bridge over a huge chasm that leads to us.
Where the fuck is this prison?
Underground, I'm guessing.
We are told we should try escape.
I mean, technically, that's not grammatically wrong.
I grab the gate and rip it off its hinges, then tear the door off of Giovanni's cage and free him. I equip myself with an entire door, and he grabs a pipe.
Smart man.
I equipped the door as a tower shield.
I equipped the door as a baseball bat.
Oh, God.
Just grab a hold of the door by, like, the fucking, the ones that have, like, the small windows with bars across it?
Yeah.
You just grab the center bar.
Oh, God.
Ruby manages to slip out of her manacles and frees Van with some use of nearby debris. However, Van rehooks his manacles to appear chained as this bizarre creature engages us and tells us to get back to our cages.
The three of us fight this thing tooth and nail, and in the middle of it, Van hands Ricky a note, so Ricky tells us we see Van sprinting across the bridge and into a door on the far side.
Okay, weird, but maybe backstory.
We finish the thing off and all just barely limp away with between 1 and 3 HP.
Yeah, like, that's the whole thing, is that I feel like having something that immediately risks the chance of the party dying first session is kind of a faux pas.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that I've had numerous sessions of D&D where I have nearly killed multiple members of the party.
Yeah.
However, most of those aren't planned.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually a whole thing of something that, technically speaking, the party could have avoided. It wasn't something that had to happen. Good example of this would be when the party fought Ilarianoth. They just happened to choose the strongest thing in the list for an investigation. That one was on them. The Great Jagras, that was my fault. Partly. Actually, that was more the die's fault. Everyone started getting terrible rolls when that thing popped up.
Yeah.
So that wasn't anyone's fault, really. Except maybe Anthony for wasting all of his nat 20s. On the spider he didn't need to fight.
Yeah, he's got to be prideful. He's got to be big monster hunter.
He's an Angie boy. My point is, don't try to kill the party session 1.
Yeah. Do it the second time.
Exactly. So we run off after Van and we see him looking around.
And he's just like, hey, I'm here, looking around.
Guess who's back?
Back again.
Shady's back.
Tell your friends?
Tell a friend. Yep. Guess who's back? Guess
We
who's
all
back?
confront him, but are caused to flee from the sudden appearance of a giant.
What the fuck is this prison?
Exactly.
We escape through the sewers and leave his massive keep. Hiding at the entrance, we see an army marching into the keep.
We go a bit further than confront Van again, and he simply says, I don't have to talk to you, I can use magic.
I'm sorry, what?
Ruby is pissed but doesn't say anything. Giovanni and I both correctly say magic is not real, as this is what we were told by the DM.
Yeah, that seems like a fair assumption.
I tell Van, work with us or travel alone. It's easier to free 3 soldiers than 3 soldiers and a leech. Van gets pissed and keeps passing the DM notes.
Arriving in a deserted town, we find a weapons store. Entering everything is well lit, and we have a feast. Dinner was served, so this is a cool touch by the DM. We sit and discuss our characters, except Van. Ruby doesn't tell us much, but it seems that her character is just naturally quiet. Giovanni and I divvy up duties. I will handle melee, and he ranged. As such, I will tank.
As we are talking, a strange god appears and tells us we are chosen heroes from history to help save the world. We are each given a necklace and some basic equipment. We also level up.
Well, that was quick. Then she fades, and with it all the food and extra equipment that surrounded us. Oh.
Rip.
Instead, we are surrounded by rusty weapons. I take some rusty weapons as backup. Van uses this time to read a tome he stole about monsters and magic.
I'm gonna steal a book. We leave and are immediately attacked by a troll. Van asks, can he read what the book says about trolls to give us an advantage? Cool idea, I think.
No, you have no idea what a troll is, so you can't look it up. I mean, if the book had pictures...
I was about to say, is it a picture book?
Like, if there's any sort of, like, pictures in it, you could probably just flip through that bitch until you saw something that looked like what you were dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah, then why give us the book?
Who knows, man? Who knows?
That's a question. Zane.
Ah, fuck. Sorry. Fuck. So I go down. Giovanni goes down. Oh. Anyway, Ruby sneak attacks as I tank and smack the thing. Giovanni is pegging it with arrows, but we are losing badly, mainly because Van literally sits down and starts reading the book until he finds something that describes a creature similar to what we're fighting to. We are fighting. Yep. Reading.
I mean, I will admit, that is kind of a bad idea at the time. I'm gonna study the thing. So I go down. Giovanni goes down. Ruby is trying to stabilize with medicine rolls, and Van is reading. He eventually finds the right page and tries to cast a spell. No luck. Tries again. Fail. So what does he do? He runs. He leaves the village and abandons us.
Sorry, what?
He yeeted up out of that bitch.
He left the party?
Yep. I mean, even Taika hasn't done that during a combat situation.
Unless she was trying to 1v1 something. And then she's just like, fuck that.
She's just done it during arguments.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Kit. You're not my real mom. I'm out of here.
And I'm taking your friend's son with me.
You know, I'd say something, but that basically happened.
We go into full guerrilla warfare tactics and are keeping... Ruby drags us into a store with Van running away, causing enough of a distraction to allow us to escape the troll. Ruby finds healing 6 healing potions, and we are up and running.
Oh, God damn it. We go into full guerrilla warfare tactics and are keeping the troll busy, running between us, and Giovanni sees the book, looks at all of us, and we nod.
Wow, the party, they know so much about each other.
Nice.
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 He attempts to read the spell and succeeds. He had to roll a nat 20 he casts Fireball and destroys the troll.
All of us are stunned except Van. See, you figured out my plan, he says, confidently strolling up. This went exactly to plan. So I ask, you planned for us to nearly die? Of course, you were just meatheads here to protect the magic caster. Now you know magic is real, bow before me. So, unless the character you're playing, unless the character themselves is specifically meant to be a dick, that doesn't tend to work, and typically even then your character needs to be able to back it up.
I want to make a hoity-toity mage like this now.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's like if I ever do play Renatka as like the whole clone thing, like part of the whole thing is that she's someone very much who does not see people as being on her level.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the spells she has are very much helpful. It's like, yeah, she's an asshole, but dear God, is haste a good thing?
Yeah.
And it's also not a whole thing of an asshole working against the party. It's also
Even
that.
assholes I play work with the party.
Exactly. So it's more the whole thing of, at what point were we friends?
Wait, do you think we're friends? They just start laughing.
You're kind of just means to end, no?
Just the party just being like, wow, fuck you too.
I have business to do. You're beneficial to doing business. That is ill. And granted, the whole eccentric mad scientist characters. So
yeah.
Anyway,
okay, let's see.
We
all say no, and my character, in fact, appoints Giovanni our leader, as he's the only one who can cast magic. This pissed off Van immensely, and more notes are written. I again reiterate: work with us or go alone.
Yeah, it's not even the guy that cast the spell that's all like hoity-toity. It's the guy who failed. Van huffs and asks for his book, and we give it back. He quickly passes the DM a note and rolls, only showing the result to the DM.
Fuck this guy.
Oh boy.
I'd start doing that with the DM, just to fuck with him.
Also pass notes to the DM.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna roll a 20. Just don't say anything. just roll the dice, don't let him see it, then just nod to the DM, have the DM just, kind of nod back. Just like, I see.
Well then. Tier line.
Is it really?
We are walking.
I'm looking at really random stuff right now, I'm sorry.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at a lizard in a cocaine lounge, don't ask.
Okay, I mean, that can't be worse than that picture that Ichitan put in earlier.
Okay, don't worry. This is just from a really, simple looking, video game, so it's not even that bad looking. It's just a lizard lying on its side and boxes next to it.
Every time I go back into Discord, I am just immediately met with that "don't talk to me or my son ever again" looking picture.
Yeah. It's really nice.
The fact that he just felt the need to describe his self-insert as unusually tall for his age just makes how short he looks in all of these funnier. Because it might just be how poorly that suit fits. But, even in that picture, he looks short. You know what I mean?
Maybe he's not wearing a bulletproof vest, he's just wearing something to make him look bulkier.
I don't know what it is, but he just does not look like a tall person.
He's probably not, man.
I think it's his head-to-body ratio.
That could be it, yeah.
It's typically the taller you are, the smaller that ratio is, because the size of a person's head doesn't really change as much with height. As
Yeah.
much.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yes, I agree. Let's continue.
We are.
We are walking to a nearby city the god hinted at when
Van tries.
Was that one of the characters in this?
Nah, it's Van tries. He left out of space.
When Van tries to cast a spell on us. Since we only saw a fireball, we all say we draw weapons to defend ourselves versus Van. We're told we can't because apparently when he took his book back, he also took all of our weapons and somehow them all without a pack or anything. That's right. He hit a great axe, a longbow, 18 arrows, and 3 daggers with no pack.
He stuffed them all up his ass. How do you... How? We all shrug and say, fine, we beat the shit out of him barehanded.
Attaboys. Yeet on that boy.
We roll initiative. We all get higher than him and proceed to mug our wizard friend and tie him up.
More notes passed to the DM.
Will you guys stop mugging the wizard? No. I'm now leading Van on a rope leash tied to his bindings and encounter a strange hag woman. She gives us a magical bag filled with loot. We didn't know it was a hag, so we thought it was a cool gift. Inside was magic weapons and upgraded armor from me as I was tanking. No one complained about me getting the armor. I sling the bag over my shoulder and carry it until we can camp to equip all our new stuff. Most players go out for a smoke break, so I ask if I can talk to Van privately and have a conversation between our characters. Everyone agrees and we talk.
I explain my character's reasoning and reiterate the warning saying we don't want to attack him again. Van agrees to chill, but when everyone comes back and the DM asks about the conversation and I start telling him when Van says it wasn't in character, he didn't use a different voice, so none of it happened.
Boy!
This hurts.
Boy!
This hurts. This one's hurting me a lot more than the others for some reason.
Van is just a dickhole.
I'm now properly pissed, but the story continues.
We see the city nearby, and the DM and Van are constantly passing notes, pissing everyone off, and we say, cut it out, but the DM says everyone can do the same thing, so we shrug and say, I want to talk to Van one more time. Appeal to him. You can't. What do you mean? Yeah, Van escaped and took your bag of loot and escaped the bindings. Both the DM and Van are just dickholes.
I'd take everyone off of that table and just go somewhere else. Like,
Yeah.
I know they're all at his house for dinner. Be like, all right, next time, come to my house and we'll leave those two out.
My Curlia gave me a gift.
Oh, fuck. I forgot to log into that today. I've been playing Arknights instead and just been grinding that out.
Yeah.
I've
nearly got it to where the whole level 3 friendship thing.
Weather conditions are potentially dangerous. Be aware of your surroundings.
Yep.
I am safe.
It now does that.
Hazardous weather alert. Check your local. It's like it's clear outside. Is it just like freezing right now?
I think it's a temperature thing.
Oh, hey, there's a torch wig outside my house.
No, it's 51 degrees. Maybe it's wind. I'm hearing wind. What is going on today?
Team Rocket's hacked the game to tell people not to go outside.
Team Rocket's hacked the weather. Oh, nope. Now it's saying it's 44 degrees outside. Apparently there's a 1% chance of rain.
Holy shit, get in the fucking ball.
Whose line is it?
It's my line, I think.
Yeah, that's right. I mentioned the whole thing of somehow he escaped.
Speaking of which, we all look confused. How didn't we notice? Asked Ruby. Well, you never rolled perception. What? There's passive perception.
You see, there's a reason why in campaigns I just regularly ask the players to roll perception.
Because if you just do anything out of their notice, everyone's going to be kind of mad.
Yes, the boulder incident is a good example. One of you didn't notice the boulder.
But it's a fucking boulder.
Yeah. Whereas 2 of you did, and 1 of you realized that that boulder wasn't there last time you were there. However, it was a whole thing, though, that I made sure that you guys at least had the opportunity to notice this shit. I made sure that you guys rolled. Now, you don't even need to explain what the perception check is for, necessarily, if they fail.
Yeah.
But if something happens, you ask the party to roll perception.
You can still be vague about it, just like, okay.
It's like, okay.
Ignore
roll
that.
perception, everyone.
Just
It's the same reason why in Monster of the Week I regularly do the sharp rolls to see whether or not people notice things.
Yeah.
Because I don't want a situation in which, like, oh, why didn't you tell us about that?
Yeah.
Like, I make sure that people have an opportunity to notice things.
Yeah. Oh my god, why are there so many grass starters outside of my house? There's a chikorita outside now, just standing there. Vibing. Not even menacingly. They just kind of showed up like, oh, hey, you're going to catch all the grass starters real quick? Hold on, let me help you out.
I'm just imagining a chikorita being menacing. That's funny. Just standing there, menacingly.
Chikorita checks your vibe, and it's just a vine coming out at you.
Chikorita would like to check your vibe.
Also pissed, I don't ask my players to make rolls. You should think to ask for them. You guys miss tons of content because you aren't asking. Now we are all angry, but I calmly ask, how is it that I didn't notice when I'm holding his tether and he had the bag on me? You are a fighter. You aren't smart enough to notice.
I'm throwing hands with this DM.
Me too. Fuck this guy.
What the actual fuck? My character had a 16 intelligence because he was meant to be a battlefield general. DM tells us to move on.
And this is when you tell the DM no. We're speaking about this right now.
We are not letting this go, Rick.
Exactly. Goddamn fucking Rick.
Fucking Rick. No such thing as a good Rick.
Yeah, that's why Rick and Morty's a bad TV show.
No, it's a good show. Rick's just a dick.
I've never watched it, so I don't know. But yeah. I think I finished my line right.
I just read mine.
God damn it, I keep throwing berries over my fucking Espeon. No, Umbreon.
Yeah, Umbreon.
I'm literally Kobeing them over him. Like, he they hit his mouth, but instead they just go past him. I'm just like, alright, fuck you, game. Anyways, so we continue. We RP our way to this locked down city and find out Van got in by handing over all our goods and reporting us to the big bad evil guy because he has a plan. We come across Van in the town when the DM literally railroads him back to us. I would have just turned around and not gone into the city.
Yeah.
Like
I do think there are ways to have characters play against each other. I mean, to have players play against each other. The important thing is to not force them to all be part of the same party.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, if you want, you could just have 2, sub-parties that are working against each other.
Yeah.
Granted, that sounds a lot more difficult to pull off, but it's an option.
Yeah. I agree completely.
We all attack with our weapons, all intent on killing him, when the god stops us and all our necklaces change, so show what our role in the party will be.
So you're telling me more railroading?
Oh boy. Oh boy. See, again, here's the thing with this kind of thing. The leader of the party doesn't typically get selected by any means. They typically just arise naturally.
Mm-hmm.
For
Like our
instance,
good friend Sazerac.
I'm not even sure you could technically call him a party leader. It's more just that he's the party mom.
He's the reason this party's kind of not falling apart, though. Let's be real.
It's not falling apart, even when I sidetrack an entire session to like throw a musical number.
Hey, man, you gotta get your money somehow.
Yeah, I was expecting more money from that. Maybe if I hadn't have failed 2 of those charm attempts.
That's probably what it was, yeah.
Yeah, it might have been. Could have gotten twice as much money.
There's also that guy that I want to steal from, but I finally failed a stealth roll at the worst time.
Because that's the weird thing, is you'd think that Kresnik would be the leader. You'd think that.
He almost was, but then everything failed, and when the Fire Nation attacked.
He almost was the leader until the whole thing in the catacombs happened, and then nobody trusted him again.
Yeah. That's just because Ruru's a dick, and she's never been nice to anyone.
Well, Cesarek's real like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Like, ever since that happened, it's like, okay, you need to stop. But yeah, or like the whole thing with Kit and Arlo in Monster of the Week.
Yeah.
They weren't chosen to be the leaders or anything like that. It just so happens that they're the most responsible members of the party.
I was gonna say most competent, but yeah.
That too.
At least Arlo finally knows that Zephy wants to take him to the bone zone.
Well, like, Kresnik is competent when it comes to killing things.
But only just.
Yeah, that's the one thing he's good at. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was gonna say even Zephy's good at killing, but you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The party's good at killing things. Other than that.
Yeah. Couldn't even get into Canada. Anyways, where's my line?
Ruby
is visibly pissed now, but doesn't get Ruby is tired of his shit, so
Ruby - thief.
Ruby, thief, Giovanni tracker, me defender, van leader.
You know, the guy who's been sabotaging the party.
Yeah.
This also just feeds into my my feelings on Chosen One narratives anyway, that being that Chosen Ones should never be told that they're the Chosen Ones until they've actually done something worthy of being a Chosen One.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, the psychological effects of that kind of thing can be pretty concerning.
Mm-hmm.
We all quit as Van stands there with a pompous smile.
The next day, Ricky contacts us and asks us to give the game one more shot, but we all say no. There are way too many problems. He promises to fix them.
Yeah. And I think Chosen One narratives honestly seem like they would work even worse in D&D. Like, if you're doing, like, a prophecy or something. Like, if you have it to where, like, great powers bestowed on one character, sure. But have it to where that's something that's kind of done in the moment and alludes to something else.
Because if it's just unwarranted, everyone's going to be like, what the fuck? Why don't I get powers?
Yeah. Like, Van was the single worst pick for leader.
Mm-hmm.
We were D&D starved dumbasses and agreed.
Ruby and I host the next game, and some family and a family friend of Ruby's ask if they can watch.
Oh boy. Already, Ricky can't focus because he's too busy flirting with the family friend to pay any attention.
What? Holy shit, I almost died from that. What the hell?
God.
Oh, what's with all these that guys flirting with people during the goddamn campaign?
Not even an NPC he's flirting with. Partly because he's the DM. That'd be really fucking weird.
Oh, right,
He'd be flirting with himself.
What the fuck is going on with this campaign? I want to go home.
A person who shouldn't DM and a person who should never be a leader of anything being declared the leader.
This is just watching a train wreck in motion, dude.
is watching a train wreck that explodes before the trains collide.
Oh God! Now everything's on fire.
It's like, well, I thought this was going to be horrific in a satisfying way, but I can't even get that.
All I have now is things that are making me sad. All right.
Like the burnt remains of the conductor. Your
so
line.
session starts
Yep.
with us in a tavern, having been teleported by the goddess. I straight up say that to Van out of game, do one more thing to screw us over and I will kill your character. He just shrugs.
Van, you are not taking this seriously. Also, honestly, like the whole thing with the goddess could actually be really kind of funny and inventive if you have it to where the goddess. Here's one way you could do a chosen one narrative that could be kind of funny and creative. Have it to where basically the goddess found out that these four are the chosen ones, but at the same time has absolutely no faith in them. So it's like every interaction is, all right, I'm trusting you on this.
Don't fuck me up. Don't fuck this up.
Yeah, like imagine like a god that just is like, okay, I need you guys stay with me here to save these people.
Please don't fuck this up.
For the love of God, for the love of me, don't kill each other.
Listen, I know some of y'all are a bit more
dysfunctional,
but I need you to work together. Please.
Like that would be one of those things where you do have to have like a madcap kind of party to where they're dysfunctional but in a funny way, like a Konosuba kind of way.
Yeah.
But dear God, could that work?
Yeah.
That seems like it'd be fun.
Oh my gosh. If I ever created a game, do you know what I want to do for the tutorial?
What?
Have one super sarcastic god that, like, you know, is for the players who think they're too smart for the game. And then have the super friendly, like, goddess of lore who just takes too long to say everything. Like, they're super long-winded. Like, they have all the lore for the game, but if you want to... Yeah. Like they're the lore for the game. They'll tell you everything you want to know about the game. But then there's also just some sarcastic guy off to the side just, like, judging you.
You see, there's the goddess of circumlocutionism. What does that mean? She uses so many words that you lose the plot. That's an actual term. Circumlocutionism is basically the tactic of using more words than necessary in order to confuse the person you're talking to.
Ah, so lawyers and most laws.
Yeah, it's basically a debate tactic that you use if you actually have no goddamn clue what you're talking about and are basically just trying to undermine your opponent's argument by just making it to where they can't get a grasp on yours.
So Trump, kind of?
Yes. As well, I don't think he's doing it intentionally.
He just likes to tell people to shut up, I think.
Yeah. I guess a good example would be like a good number of like different like conservative channels, honestly.
What channels?
They have it. I'd say that oh god, what's the one? He was the change my mind meme.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that douchebag. Like he's a good example. He'll go off on like random tangents that have absolutely fucking nothing to do with what he's talking about.
Ah.
Yeah. Let's see. Ruby is tired of his shit, so binds his hands in game. Out of game, she has a scarf, so Van said for immersion, why not bind his hands with that? She, of course, doesn't bind them tight so he can still drink and play. Oh, dear God. It's sad that I immediately know where this is going.
I think I know where this is going to, and I don't like it. We are gathering information in the tavern when Van slips his hands out of the binds and declares his character escaped because he escaped the scarf. The party groans, but we leave him as we are enjoying our own RP when he starts passing notes to the DM, and Ruby is approached by an NPC simply asking how much. She's confused and walks away to our table and orders us food. More note passing. I'm walking back to the table and over Van telling an NPC that I'm a slave and I'm selling Ruby as a prostitute to fund my eating habits.
Kill Van's character.
Excommunicate Van from your house.
Like, just cut him in half. Rip it in half with your bare hands. Like, if anyone's ever seen Deadpool 2, basically do what the Juggernaut did to Wade Wilson. Ruby is visibly... What?
Ricky.
Ruby is visibly pissed now, but doesn't get a chance to react before I simply state I cut his head off. Ricky looks at me shocked. I roll again at nat 20. I bring him to 1 HP. Van is squirting blood everywhere, and I'm now stalking him. Seems about right. DM tells me if I attack again, I will lose my arm, so I can't use my Great Axe ever again. I say fine, roll a second nat 20, and get told I miss as my arm exploded into shards of ice and Van is fully healed.
Van runs out of the tavern, and the rest of us are just about ready to call it quits and step outside.
After 30 minutes, Ricky finally stops flirting to beg us to finish the session.
We agree on our led to a bizarre trial, which ended in a strange room. Ruby had picked up a dagger, and when she tried to use it, cast Disintegrate on herself and summon a dragon that total party TPK'd us all.
Well, we eventually we tell everyone to leave, and Ricky spent the rest of the evening hitting on the friend.
I wish I could say this was the last time he died for us, but I can't.
TLDR, that guy pisses everyone, I'm guessing off, steals from us, sells us out, DM too busy chasing tail to fix the problem. Alright, think we got time for the next one. Ricky, in space.
Oh my.
Welcome back to another story of Ricky, but this time we aren't in a bizarre train track of fantasy world, but instead in space.
Quickly, I thought about why we never just gave up on Ricky until the Tantrum DM fame was simply... He was never directly the main issue, he was always a side issue. Anyway, onto the story.
Yeah, that does seem like the thing that's been going on, is that he's not the direct problem, but he is a problem.
He fuels and lets the other people get away with stuff.
Yeah. So, a number of months after our terrible D&D game, Ricky invites us to join a Star Wars, I forget the edition, but it was similar to 3.5D.
Anyways, we are told we can use any of the books from any of the time periods to make our characters, as this will be set after the movies and won't really touch on anything.
But yeah, yeah, he just seems to let people get away with things, and that's kind of the whole thing, is that, like, we've yet to have a session, like a campaign where this would need to happen, or even like a situation in which the players would cause this.
Yeah.
But if the players decide to, like, start pulling shit, yeah, there's gonna be consequences for that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like, I think we've already been over the whole thing of the lightning pirate in one of the other ones of these. Either that or I was talking with Tom.
I don't remember Lightning Pirates, that was probably Tom.
But yeah, like, the whole thing of, like, if you decide to do some, like, heinous shit, or even, like, if you decide to, like, start stealing from people, and you get caught, yeah, there's gonna be repercussions.
Yeah.
If you start fights, there's gonna be repercussions. Like, you can't just do shit like that and not expect there to be consequences.
Yeah.
This ain't GTA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoops. Okay. As such, I decided to play a Twi'lek smuggler named Mongrel. Her ambition was simply to be the best smuggler out there. The backstory we eventually landed on after much reworking from Ricky is this.
My character was a former slave whose previous master was a smuggler for the Hutts. My character killed her master and took his ship of her own and slowly built onto it. Each of us were giving something special, and this was mine. I was also told I would only get it much later in the game, so I could make it really cool. Make it a really cool ship. The ship was based on the Millennium Falcon, but faster and stripped out.
Huh.
The ship was mainly used to smuggle very expensive goods, guaranteed, and it had the firepower to back it up.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Not a terrible backstory, I'll say that. Although I wonder how much of that was Ricky.
Yeah. Like the whole
Anyway.
slave thing's kind of weird.
Yeah, that feels like it might be Ricky meddling.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, my character goes on the run from the Hutts when they want to take her ship and goes to Coruscant. Coruscant. Maybe. I don't know how to pronounce these things. What?
Croissant.
God damn it. This is the last thing she remembers before waking up in our starting location. I discussed with Ricky I was fine losing it in a gambling game while drunk to a friend. Okay, that's an interesting reason for the losing in the ship.
Yeah, sorry for the backstory ramble, but it pays off.
Yeah, I will say that is actually a good reason for like losing a thing. Like, yeah. I had a thing, but I lost it due to gambling.
Gambling.
Because then you also have the possibility of a story arc in which you're trying to get your shit back.
Yeah. But at least his friend, he also lost it to his friend.
Yeah.
So like, he could essentially buy it back, and I think that's what he was kind of thinking of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our cast this time. Myself, Ricky, the DM, Ruby, human engineer, had robotic arms and legs that were detachable.
Nice.
Frank, human female captain, blonde bimbo, forced to be our captain. That guy.
Aw, Frank. Poor Frank.
Frank.
A big thing about this game
I didn't finish.
Oh, fuck. I saw Frank at the end and assumed. My bad.
Jacob, one of the flute players from Mos Eisley. S was his entire. Yes, that was his entire character. Red, assassin, dating Frank.
Oh. A big thing about this game setting, Ricky homebrewed, there was no Sith or Jedi.
I'm sorry, what?
It basically faded into obscurity. This pissed Ruby off because her character was meant to be an architect that specialized in Sith and creating lightsabers. Ricky had signed this off, by the way. Let's see, hold on.
I'm sorry, what?
Do you need the Force to build a lightsaber?
I mean, you don't need the Force to build a lightsaber or use it, but it probably helps in keeping from accidentally cutting off body parts. My whole thing is, I mean, you don't necessarily need to have it towards the Jedi and Sith themselves, but there's likely going to be some form of, well, yeah, I guess you would technically need the Jedi because of the Force, and a Jedi is simply someone who is trained in the use of the Force. But
also, what I was looking at, the Force helps in building a lightsaber because it helps like sense imperfections and how it's angled in there, like the crystal and stuff. So it's helpful to have the Force. Otherwise,
but yeah, like the whole thing is that, like, you'd expect that there would still be some form of dark Jedi bouncing around. Yeah, or even at least Rey.
This might have been before Rey was even conceived.
No, not Rey. Grey. Grey Jedi is someone who doesn't necessarily fall like on either side of the Jedi or Sith. They're more just someone in between who has their own code.
Ah.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, a lot of the named characters do kind of fit on this. For instance, the whole thing that Obi-Wan was known to experiment in Sith practices.
I see. How scandalous.
Yeah. As well as the fact that among the Jedi, dating was outlawed.
No wonder people said fuck that. Is it my line still?
No, it's my line. Our game starts with us all in a bar. The players are seated around my passed out character who wakes up and we all start introducing.
Frank says he needs a new crew to his ship. I offer to be the pilot, to which Frank says he can fly.
Alright. Okay. Okay, well, I'm a decent gunner, so I sign on that. So I sign on as that. Ruby becomes our medic/engineer. Jacob is her assistant. We had another guy, but he didn't really do much ever.
At this point, an injured guy comes in and we quickly path him up and put him behind the bar as we ask him questions about who hurt him. Just then, a bunch of pig grunts burst in and start demanding to know where he is, and everyone sells us out. We are behind the bar and thus cover, so we ready ourselves for them to start firing.
I'm sorry, what?
Nope, they pull out a thermal grenade and lob them at us, all missing getting it over the bar, but now everyone inside is dead and we are torn to pieces, but shrapnel basically and the NPC is dead.
Okay, I'm guessing by shrapnel.
Yeah.
Oh dear God. Why? Where are they? There. We are dragged off in our injured state to go meet someone who offers us a job. We say yes, because we are told if we say no, we will die.
So on to the ship we go, and this is where we find out something interesting about our captain. He had spread the character very thin, trying to do everything, and as such didn't have good skills at all.
Myself was built around Dex and Intelligence, for ease I'm calling them that. The two stats I need to shoot, pilot, and fix my ship.
Jacob is built around Charisma and was basically being a bard. Honestly, I know this character sounds terrible, but is generally my favorite one from this entire game. He also only knew the most Esli Canteen song and would play it whenever he could. Just constantly. Quick, play us a song! Huh, this place is very lively. If only we had music!
Our captain gets frustrated when he basically stalls the ship, and I offer to take over. I fly us out of there, and he agrees to be the gunner/co-pilot, as I had extra +7 more than him in piloting. I can fly the ship.
Hey, this is my ship.
Kick hell.
We head off to a nearby star base and report this all to the authorities and get patched up.
We are asked to deliver weapons to their forces on Tatooine. I'm apprehensive because of the Hutts, and I want to get to Coruscant. Coruscant is the name of the pirate from Oxventure.
Just call him a crouton.
Coruscant de Baena.
But Captain says yes, so off we go. Wait, I thought you were the captain now.
I am the captain. Look at me. Ruby spots a literal Darth Vader mural in the rear of the military's office as we fly past. As such, she doesn't trust this. I wonder why. And we spend the entire journey through hyperspace checking for trackers. Oh god, they're doing a job for Kylo Ren. It was his Vader shrine.
2 people got nat 20s. This put Jacob at a 31. Yep, this guy that's meant to be nearsighted has eyes like a hawk, but none of us find anything.
Nice. By which I mean the 31 thing.
Mm-hmm.
Basically blind. I see everything.
This is the bard, right?
I think Jacob is... No, I'm thinking Frank. Jacob's the bard.
Yeah. So.
As soon as we come into land, we are asked to roll spot. Another nat 20 from Jacob, and we are told how his character sees this armed force coming towards us from over 20 miles away.
Session ends and we each roll a percentile. This was meant to do something with our force powers possibly becoming active. Oh
boy. Okay. Jacob rolls a 98. We were aiming high, and Frank rolls a 2. So he's pissed.
Now we were clearly told not to take any equipment from the shipment, so start of next session, what does our glorious leader do? That's right, goes and takes a good chunk of weapons as we wait outside to deliver this stuff. Needless to say, we are arrested.
This is mostly just people being leaders that really shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
This would be like if Ruru was the leader.
You're right. Imagine if Ruru was the leader and she wanted to steal something, but to this DM, no one could refuse to not steal with her.
Just imagining, all right, we're going to steal this thing. Do we have to?
Yes.
Just Sazerac, look, do we have to?
Just a very angry Ruru flipping him off.
Well, there's no need for that. I want to escape the prison due to huts, and the others agree, but we had no weapon. Or so we thought. Jacob detaches Ruby's arm and uses it as a club. That's smart thinking. Detachable arm? I believe you mean handy club. Beating anyone who came in our path to death like an absolute badass. Okay, Jacob is amazing. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a very good boy.
Best boy.
He deserves all the head pats.
Yes. Unlike Frank.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
It's your line. This session ends.
This session ends and Ruby leaves the game. She's not a fan of Star Wars, and all her character's specialties were taken away from her at the last minute, and she couldn't change them.
Yeah, again, the fact that, hey, I want my character to be someone who did, work for the Sith, making lightsabers and such. Oh yeah, cool. You can do that. By the way, there's no Sith.
Nani the fuck?
Exactly. Next session, we finally start going to Coruscant, but Frank is angry with me because I'm basically running everything now as I had the best engineering score as well. Well, Frank, maybe you shouldn't be so useless. Or if you're gonna be, roleplay well.
Yeah. Instead of talking to anyone directly, he starts sleeping with random NPCs, bad-mouthing me for no reason, and getting pissy. My character is very sarcastic, so in fights, she starts teasing Frank. He would miss a shot, I would kill the thing in question, sarcastic remark.
And now I'm just thinking of the multiple instances of Sazerac kill-stealing.
Bro, don't steal my kill.
Just keep missing it. Fine, I'll do it myself. Stabs. Oh, look, it's dead. The fact that happened so often.
He's really low in everything because he tried to be an ace, a jack of all trades. It kind of fucked him over.
Yeah. When I was asked why out of game, I said it was due to my character being independent and feeling targeted by the captain for no reason. Frank nods and says, okay, it's making for interesting roleplay.
Ending our third session, my character picks up a plague, or plaque? Yeah, that's plaque.
No, that's
plague. That will kill her, and the antidote is extremely, extremely rare. Assuming this means my character is dead, I make a new character and tell everyone I'm going to make a doctor to replace Ruby. Just because we were entering each other with the medicine rolls, and I was hoping to infuse some tension.
Jacob rolls a 100 on dice for force, and he and I laugh. We jokingly say it's the force that's been helping him see so nicely.
Next session starts, and the captain produces the antidote and cures my character, telling her, you owe me your life now be nice. So I pull my gun, give it to her, and point at my head and say, rather kill me because I'm not having my life owned again.
Makes sense in character.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, the whole fact of, yeah, I like what you were doing with the roleplay thing. Stop doing the fun roleplay thing. Captain throws hissy fit and we move on.
We do some dogfights, but it's pretty uneventful session.
Next session, the captain misses, and the horror begins.
We arrive on Croissant and start gathering info on my ship.
We land at a really lavish bar where we see the guy who won my ship. We confront him, and he agrees to tell us where my ship is if we beat him in a game, but I still owe him, even though my character had partially paid him back sexually. Yep, that's right. The Ricky told me, saying, I'm willing to lose my ship in a gambling game if it means I'm going... wait. Ricky took me saying I'm willing to lose my ship at a gambling game to mean I'm going to gamble and prostitute myself to pay off gambling debts.
I'm pissed. So Jacob takes over and says how we beat you. You tell us the info and write off the debt. If you win, we give you the Ebon Hawk, our current ship. He accepts the game and it's liar's dice. I'm out quickly, so it fits my character nicely. Jacob wins the whole thing easy, and we make more jokes about him using the Force.
I like Jacob.
Yeah.
We find out my ship was sold for scrap. The best smuggling ship in the universe was sold for scrap. I asked Ricky why, and he said it was because we got to Coruscant too quickly.
Then you make more bullshit for them to do.
I'm sorry.
Okay, next session, also the last section.
Captain is back and bring in Red. While we were away, Captain had recruited Red and was talking to guards.
Frank sees us and runs over, grabbing my ship, asking how dare I wager his ship. How did he know? We look at him confused, going full Stonewall. Frank threatens to hurt me if I don't on up, so Jacob pulls his lightsaber on the captain. Red pulls his gun on Jacob. Captain pulls gun on me, and I pull out my gun and point it at Red.
Mexican standoff. Jacob talks us all down when we notice the guards are carrying lightsabers. So we follow them, because what the fuck?
Following them, we find this huge temple that dominates the city. We are welcomed and told we will be tested.
I'm sorry, what? That's right. With no foreshadowing or prompting, we had found a Jedi temple, the Jedi Temple, and being tested as Jedi in a game where Jedi don't exist.
We answer some questions, and all of us apparently fail, except Frank, who had answered like a real edgelord, sounding very Sith-like.
The child's birthday party. How do you solve this problem? Kill the children.
Just like the great Luke Skywalker.
Just like good old Annie.
Alright, Anakin, my bad.
Oh, God. Jacob and I look at each other like, what the fuck? This guy had the lowest force roll. Answers questions like a douche, but passes. Why did I say passes like that?
Yeah.
Passes.
Passes. We go to the next room where we are tested on lightsaber use and see there are roughly 2,000 Jedi at the temple. That's correct.
What?
Jedi don't exist as long as you don't look at or in the Jedi temple where a large army exists.
I'm sorry, what? Jedi don't exist. Also, here's 2,000 Jedi. Pardon? So we start doing lightsaber combat. Jacob doesn't do well, Red doesn't do well, I roll really well, and DM rolls poorly, and start actually beating the Jedi before he just defeats me, and I'm fine with that, because I shouldn't have won. Then it's Frank. Oh boy. We get this huge edgy speech and dramatic flourishes before the fight where he's beaten in one hit. Yep, he lost that bad.
I'm laughing full force, Jacob's chuckling, Red's giggling, Frank is pissed, but for whatever reason he gets to keep his lightsaber.
But why though?
Exactly.
More confusion why he gets it and we don't, as we did better. Red actually even tries to steal one for me because she felt I deserved it.
Anyway, off we go to the scrapyard to find my ship, and this entire time Frank's monologuing about how much better he is than us. We ignore him.
Who got one-shotted, Frank?
Ricky likes to play a bias for people.
What is it with him and making assholes the chosen one?
I don't know.
We get attacked by some thugs in a bad part of town, and Frank insists on only using the lightsaber. Combat order. Frank attacks. Misses. I attack. Kill. Sarcastic remark. Red attacks. Kill. Jacob sees we are kicking ass, so he plays music.
This goes on for 3 rounds, and we down the final guy. Frank attacks and misses. I walk forward and fire my 2 shots while saying, "Have a fancy weapon doesn't make you good if you don't know shit about how to use it." Combat over, and Frank immediately turns and says, "I attack him with Force Lightning." Okay, Mongrel, deck save. I save, look directly at Frank and say, "I switch my gun to full auto and attack." "No, you don't, because the lightning didn't happen," Frank says. "Oh, and it would have happened if I saved?" "Nah, screw that, I attack." Now, on full auto, I get 4 attacks, and with my build and weapon mode, I only got a -2 to each shot.
The actual fuck is with Frank?
I don't know.
Oh, God. They all hit and crit. I pour afraid of the captain and kill him instantly. Frank stands up and storms off, shouting, all he cares about is PvP. Bish, what?
You attacked him first.
I'm not playing with him again. I shrug. Jacob chuckles and... and he grabs the captain's ship keys and gives them to me. Hey, Captain. Red walks over, takes the lightsaber and gives it to me before looting the now dead captain clean, then pushing him off one of the walkways to the city below.
DM ends the session, and we all say we ain't coming back because Frank ruined the game.
Over the next few weeks, Ricky is talking to me, asking what was wrong, and I say the game rotated around Frank. It wasn't fun for any of us to be his side characters.
Oh, but the campaign was supposed to be about you?
Ricky?
Bad, Ricky. Bad. No, don't do that, Ricky.
This would be like if I had forced Kresnik to be the focal character at all times.
Oh, God. No.
The least responsible one. Things would go poorly, and I'm pretty sure that it wouldn't be fun for people.
Yeah.
So instead, the people who take the initiative to do things are the ones that take the spotlight. I don't force the spotlight on things. You don't force the spotlight on a player.
Nope.
The spotlight falls where it may. That is how this shit works. How exactly? You changed my backstory. You stripped me of my one special item. You tried to kill me, and Frank knew shit way before I did.
Of course he did. He was a Sith Lord trying to recruit you to the dark side. Also, Frank saw the artwork for your character and said she would be used as a sex slave, so that's why I changed it.
I want to break Ricky's jaw with Frank's skull.
I want this to end, and I never want to think about this man ever again.
Well, unfortunately, there's a good few more Ricky stories that we won't be reading in this session. We will
Fuck.
read later. Oh, God. Frank's an asshole. Frank's just an absolute sack of shit, as is Ricky. You moron. You don't discuss my backstory without my consent with anybody else, and you sure as hell don't let them change it. Second, my character was a child slave. She's only turned of legal age. Oh, boy.
Needless to say, after I blocked Ricky and didn't talk to him for about a year, when he randomly popped up at one of my D&D games.
P.S. Thanks for the feedback, guys. I will keep posting more Ricky stories, as I sadly have quite a few. That's where we're going to leave this one.
Yeah. I don't think my heart can take another Ricky.
Yeah. Luckily, we won't have to deal with another one until at the very earliest next week, because Tom is never here for more than one day.
Spooky.
You've noticed that, right?
Well, sometimes people got other stuff they gotta do, man.
Yeah, just it's a consistent pattern. Anyway, special thank you to Destiny Baird for donating to our Patreon. If you would like a shout out like this, either vocally or on screen, consider donating to our Patreon, link in the description. And we will see you all next time.
Not me. I'm leaving next time. Yeet.
Oh boy.